So let me first ask both of you, just first thoughts on what you've just seen, patiently and attentively heard. What do you make of it, Rahul?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, and I think I've had this conversation with Sambit a lot, especially in relationship to T20 cricket. You know, sort of just having played a little bit of T20 cricket at the back end of my career, and then getting involved, with the sort of the auction process and coaching, mentoring teams. I think one of the frustrations really for a lot of us, if you can call us on the other side of the fence, so to speak, the people involved in coaching and setting up teams, and when you sort of read articles or you read comments about T20 cricket, you sometimes felt that people were not getting it, or there was a sense of frustration that sometimes the stats that were being used were quite outdated. The comments were based on numbers and stats that were sometimes being used for one-day cricket or used for test matches, and people would use the sort of the set stats that had been used, or the set averages or strike rates.
And for you, that didn't do justice to the...
It didn't do justice, I think, to sometimes as coaches, not only for, I guess, on reading of the game, but you were looking for something more as well. If you're looking to analyze a game, if you're looking for more information on a game, if you're looking as a coach to make decisions on a game or decisions on selection, you sometimes felt that the old stats didn't do it. So there was a sense of frustration. So it's really good that people are looking at this very differently. It'll be really interesting to see how this goes and what this leads into. But yeah, definitely that over the last few years we've seen people definitely recognize that the T20 game is different, and it needs different metrics, it needs different statistics, and it's fantastic to see people are doing the work behind getting that out.
Sanjay, just first thoughts?
Actually, my worst fear has come true today. The nerds are taking over the game. I was worried about this.
This is your worst fear?
Yes, I mean, this was my worst fear. It's finally happened. But on a serious note, I think Paul King is here from Star. Star had done a show 3-4 years back called The Guru versus the Geek.
The Guru versus the Geek?
The Geek. Guru is that cricket romantic who's played the game, has no time for numbers. And then you have the Geek who's only about numbers. And I was given the name of being Gurik because I was both. And to be very honest, I mean, I'm fascinated by numbers. When I'm doing commentary, my best friend is the stats man sitting next to me. So I've always liked the support of numbers. These days, I'm even more confident with my criticism of people because I use data as well to back it up. So that helps. The most important thing is how you balance or how you use the numbers to come to the right conclusions on the game and performances, selection, everything. Let's not forget, with every Rahul Dravid, the coach, with time for numbers and his intelligence, there's also Chandrakant Pandit. He's a very successful coach, 2 consecutive Ranji titles, who doesn't know how to reboot the computer.
But speaking specifically of the role of numbers in T20 cricket, where Rahul says that
If there again, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is an example.
Yeah, we'll come.
If you ask me, I have a lot of time for numbers. I'll talk purely as a commentator as well. People have been hearing the same gyan from us for the last 10, 15 years. They want something new. And what's new is these kind of things, the revelatory numbers and performances of players. And our coverage, it comes at the bottom of the screen. And these are excellent pertinent numbers. Suresh Raina a few years back had this weakness against the short ball. And then a little stat comes at the bottom that says that he scored most of his runs of the pull shot. So what was happening actually was more and more bowlers were bowling short to him, and he had learned to score of the pull shot. So I found that extremely exciting, and I wanted that little scroller at the bottom to be center stage. So that's me.
Okay, Rahul,
as
a stats person. There?
No, yeah. I mean, I'm just using this, but just from someone who sort of looks at these things a little bit as a coach differently. Yes, you might have said Suresh Raina has scored more runs of the short ball because he's been given the short ball. But can you calculate how many would he have scored if we had actually pitched them up? He might have even scored more than he did with the short ball. So while the number is nice to tell you that, yeah, Suresh Raina doesn't now have a weakness against the short ball, you might still need to bowl short to him, even though he scored the most runs of the short ball.
Yeah.
Because if you pitch it up, that 100 could become 200 strike rate. These things are
numbers
incredibly...
can be looked at differently.
So for me, I think the interesting thing is, and Sanjay, I think it's not about nerds versus, geeks. I think the critical thing for me is the people who are going to be able to make the best use of these numbers. how you read these numbers, what you get out of these numbers is going to be
Funny
the future.
enough, those people include Sanjay only.
Yeah, so when he says, what is the word? What is the used word for yourself? Guri. So the Guriks or the people I think who are able to make sense of these numbers are going to be the most valuable people in the future. It's not the guys you will get a lot of numbers thrown at you. But the guys who can make sense of these numbers is the future.
I think we've sort of, through the course of the morning, we've spoken about why
We've not had a lot of people in the morning.
Why
so
we needed smart stats. As we've said that there are three forms of the games, and you needed something to equalize that. I'm not saying that averages and strike rates and then economy rates are going to go away. What smart stats or superstats will do, they'll add a quality, the layer of value and quality. And you would be, Sanjay sort of referred to that you can actually equalize batting and bowling performances now.
Sure.
And you can put a number, like I think one of the most exciting for me from smart stats is the quality of performance. So you could actually produce, we have a traditional scorecard which sort of batsman and bowler you could never, you could never decide that who has the greater value.
Who has had a greater impact on a game.
So the value contribution to win is a factor that you can look at the scorecard and look at. So the exciting part is it's for the geeks. It's also for people who have casual interest in cricket. It's not that we are replacing anything. We are, in fact, providing tools and quantifying and validating cricket wisdom.
I just think, just blindly using numbers obviously would be a big mistake.
Yes.
But it would also be a mistake to just ignore numbers as well. I think, when you're making decisions, and for me, numbers is not so much about looking back. So in the position that I'm actually more excited and interested in numbers that help me make decisions on selections, on tomorrow.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.